Hi, and welcome back to Sound and Communications Viewpoint. My name is Jonathan Shor, Director of Technology with McCann Systems. With me is Dan Shoman, General Manager of Masque Sound. We're talking about human resource issues, namely employee training, acquisition, and retention. Now, we've already covered the first two topics, so what I'd like to talk to you about is retention. What do you feel the biggest challenge you have once you've given somebody the training and sort of given them what they need to stay with your company? How do you prevent them from leaving to go to other companies?
Well, I think there's a misconception out there that employment is 100% monetarily driven. I think we should definitely squash that roach. It certainly plays a large part. What I find more pressing, however, is keeping people interested, keeping people challenged, and keeping people involved within the business.
Yeah, because I don't know. Sometimes when people are giving us the, I'm thinking about leaving the company, it's never because they're not challenged. A lot of times it ends up being primarily money driven. It's either
right.
the significant other saying that they need to
Correct.
get the bills paid more. But
like I said, I can't completely discredit that. Obviously, if someone's going to pay you 25% more to go work for them, that's a big driver. I find personally, more often than not, people are leaving to pursue other challenges. They're dead-ended, or they don't have anything else to look forward to. Again, I don't want to completely discredit the fact that money isn't a factor. It certainly is.
I mean, where do you feel the line is drawn when you want to keep somebody, but you also don't want to necessarily set a bad example for other employees?
I've actually been through this a couple of times in my personal experiences where employees have approached me and we've agreed that it's better for them to move on. I don't have the opportunities to offer them that they're looking for, and you don't want to do that. But sometimes you have no choice, and you have to be honest with yourself and your employees.
Do you have any company policies in place that actually allow for the movement of people, or is it really more just an ad hoc, I have a position opening, I'm looking from within? Like, how do you get people to move within the company? It
certainly should be more structured than it is. At this point, I think we touched on this a little on the last show. It's more about seeing the potential in people and seeing that hunger to succeed and progress. And then we almost can make new positions or advance people at the speed that they need to advance at to keep them interested. Mm-hmm. So,
have you had any challenges with bringing in higher level people where you just didn't have the right staff, and did that cause any waves with the guys or anything?
I'll tell you, it is tough, particularly at a management level, to bring someone new in. But sometimes it's necessary, particularly because of the technicality of our field. Technicians don't always make the best managers, and vice versa. And I think we've seen that. And sometimes we have had to reach outside, but also, I'm a prime example. We've also promoted well from within, and I think both can be effective.
Mm-hmm. I understand. I think one of the main things we have to focus on is keeping the employees interested in what they're doing.
Right.
And I think what we talked about is providing new challenges. How can you guarantee what you're going to provide a technician he's going to feel challenged about what he's doing, or do you think it's the same old thing? I mean, if you're sort of doing 4 of the installations that are exactly the same coming up, are you afraid that they would think that, oh, well, it's the same thing over and over again? Or
right. Something I've found that has been effective for us is even if it's a repetitive task, perhaps assigning a broader umbrella for them to work under. So say you go into that first installation and they're just doing task A. Well, they handled task A well. Well, next time they might get task B, and someone else who's performing task A is working kind of underneath them, not formally, but they're kind of get to oversee more of the project as it proceeds.
I think we'll touch base more on that. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back shortly with Sound and Communications Viewpoint.
Bosch Communication Systems, a business unit of Bosch Security Systems, is now one of the world's leading manufacturers and suppliers of professional audio, wireless, life safety, and communication equipment. Bosch Communication Systems offers complete system solutions for the world's most critical high-profile installations and events. Together, the future sounds secure.
Since 1977, Full Compass has been a national leader in the sales and rental of pro audio, video, AV, and lighting equipment. With over 600 top brands and $10 million in inventory, Full Compass is one-stop shopping.
Stewart Film Screen announces contemporary cabaret screens for multimedia installations. With features that are installer-friendly, including choice of motors and easy setup adjustments from the screen's housing front. Stewart Film Screen is also introducing Ambient Shade, a window treatment product that controls sunlight in commercial and residential applications.
Hi, and welcome back to Sound and Communications Viewpoint. We've been talking about employee acquisition, training, and retention. One of the challenges that I find when it comes to bringing people on is understanding, what is a competitive package to offer them as far as benefits and salary, any type of profit share, 401k, things of that nature. What have you found helps you understand what's competitive to your industry and other companies that you're trying to hire somebody from?
Well, I think one of the advantages we have in this industry that a lot of people don't is the large freelance labor pool. And you know what the freelance population is demanding, and it kind of makes it easy to back into a salary. You can certainly evaluate the value of insurance and a 401k and all of that kind of stuff, and back into a competitive pay scale. The industry as a whole seems like it's not that big of an industry. People you start to get friends with other companies, even within competitors, and you kind of just get a feel for where you should be at.
Have you ever had a situation where somebody was coming in with a good experience, but it wasn't quite in your exact industry? Maybe within 6 months they would be able to be trainable and get to a certain place, but because they retained so much experience with this other part of the industry, their salary requirements are higher. How do you handle that sort of situation?
That's a very good question. Certainly, you're taking a gamble every time you hire somebody, unless you're bringing in somebody you've worked with for X amount of years somewhere. And a lot of it's you just have to go with your gut feel, and you kind of roll the dice, so to say. Hope it comes up lucky number 5. Mm-hmm. But certainly. Bringing people in that might not have the exact qualifications you're looking for and hoping they have potential to grow into that capacity is a reality, without a doubt.
Okay. How do you deal with subcontractors and quantifying them that, are they any good, or are they going to be able to perform the job? And if they're working on a time and materials basis and they don't necessarily do the work properly, how do you deal with that in the end when it comes to payment and closing out the job?
I think one thing to keep in mind is that good people generally recommend other good people. Of course, you have your stable of regular subcontractors that you use. When they're not available to service certain projects, I generally will turn back into them and have them bring someone to me, because I feel more comfortable that they'll put their kind of stamp of approval on the next guy coming in.
Have you had any challenges with clients actually trying to hire away some of we're not talking about competitors now, but right. Clients actually saying, yes. Hey, this guy was great on my install, and I need somebody to run this place.
Yep.
Any challenges with that sort of thing?
Yeah, that certainly is a reality, and we have lost several employees to that scenario. And you know what? If those employees are going to go, I think they're going to go. It's just a matter of, is it now, or is it 2 years from now or 5 years from now? And you know what? If they're not going to be happy in the path they're in, and they want to go pursue the next, vertical integration, so to say, then that's going to happen, I think, regardless.
Right. I understand. I know it can be challenging because, the client realizes that they need to get technical staff in, and they have no one really to go to, so they might as well.
Well, and a lot of times they'll overpay for that because they don't know where that resource pool is to get that technical person, and they get comfortable, and you can't. You can't double someone's pay because they're wanted at a client's job site.
Great. Well, I think this is very helpful. I'd like to thank you all for watching Sound and Communications Viewpoint. I'd like to thank Dan Shoman, General Manager of Masque Sound, for coming out with us. Again, I'm Jonathan Shor, Director of Technology with McCann Systems. And thanks for joining us.